Okay, folks, so I'm actually up. Um, 3 o'clock, par for the course, right? Remember what I told you about this thing? I remember a military friend of mine actually would send out a message and he'd say, who's up at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m.? I'm like, it's almost like a program if it's so consistent. I remember I was talking to a therapist the other day, and that's what I told her. I gave her throughout some hours of how it happens when it does happen. And she's like, oh, it sounds like, such and such. I said, yeah, it sounds like that, except for the fact that it also sounds like it's a program, like it's a constant program. I said, nobody wakes up and sleeps and wakes up and sleeps at these certain hours and times and with all the other things going on. Said, it sounds like it's on a timer and it's on a program. But with that in mind, and I told her, I said, and when it does switch, it switches instead of it being 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning and another time. I said, but if it does switch, even that's a program. It's always on a scheduled switch time. So the alternate time is always, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, all of that, gotten all that out the way. So I actually am awake right now. I slept through, until around, you know, um, yeah, I think just an hour ago. I know that's really important to everybody out there. So wound up falling asleep. Yeah, that usual thing that I've said, fall asleep after you eat, with about an hour after you eat, like a program again. Nobody does that. But yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. So I wanted to give some information for the folks that are, applying for certain things through the VA, performing their claim thing process or what have you. I want you to take a close look at any information when it comes to you applying for things. And then I want you to go and research whether or not it's accurate, either the way you're doing it by yourself or the way somebody else has submitted it. I personally have never had anyone submit on my behalf. And whenever I've been performing the process, going through the process of applying, I it's all been all me when I'm doing something. But I will say, with regard to your submissions, do the research overall. Check overall for anything that you may be submitting. Doesn't mean it has to be perfectly exactly the way you find it, but do the research on the things that you're submitting for. If you're submitting on your own, that's just a word of advice for the veterans out there.